Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Doesn't matter where you have Pisces in your chart. It could also be a different placement as well. There may be a message in here for you. So Pisces, there's a lot of downloaded messages coming through for you today. I'm first of all getting this song Silver Bells, the Christmas song. So there may be something about Christmas time that is significant for you. So maybe like in the next month or so, that maybe there's like a significant energy unfolding for you. There's also something about... There's so much information. One second. So there's a Sagittarius energy as well coming through, which of course is December time. So I feel like December is going to be a significant month for you. But Sagittarius is also another mutable sign, Pisces. So to you, Sagittarius is it's a square. So there may be something about, like, I keep seeing this like perpendicular energy, right? Like you're going this way. There's something going this way across your path is actually how it's coming through. There may be something like that, like maybe a bit of a conflict or something like that. Like you and another are going in perpendicular directions. That's how it feels. I don't know if this is a beneficial energy to you or not. It kind of feels like not, Pisces. Well, that's the thing. It may feel like it's not a beneficial energy, but it is coming in your reading for a reason. So I'm just going to leave that there. We'll see what else comes through with that. But there is a Sagittarius energy in your space at the moment. It's kind of coming in with a bit of a Knight of Wands dynamic, like very fast moving. I feel like it's temporary. If it is sort of like a conflict energy, it may be causing conflict for you. There may be sort of like this like hot and fast kind of energy, like creating a bit of conflict in your space at the moment. It is temporary though. It will pass. Another thing is that today Saturn is moving out of retrograde. It is direct now, Saturn. And it's still in your sign, Pisces. So I feel like that's also significant for you today. There is a little bit of a collective energy coming in your reading today because of Saturn going direct in your sign. So I am going to link. I did a collective reading in the summer, back when Saturn started going retrograde. So there may be something in that reading that sort of like summarizes the last few months for you. Which I will link above if you're interested. But anyways, we're going to continue on. One more downloaded message that I was getting was kind of this energy, Pisces. As an example, I feel like it's not going to unfold like this exactly for everybody. The details of it, the specific circumstances will of course be specific to each person. But as an example, there's kind of coming through this energy of like... you are trying to introduce like a new friend or something like that, or a new like partner, like a boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing, to like your family or something like that. It could also be like, I was kind of getting this energy of like introducing like your boyfriend to a friend or something like that. Like it's kind of feeling like established relationships, like friends and family, and there's a new relationship that you're trying to sort of integrate into that established group. That's how it's feeling. Especially with this energy of Christmas, like there may be something like a family gathering or something like that. It doesn't have to be that for you. It actually, because it's coming through as Christmas, I actually feel like this is something that's going to happen in the future for you. Like it's like there's a date, a set date, or like it's like you have to wait till Christmas time or something like that. So it does feel like it's a bit in the future, like it's not happening immediately for you, but it's already starting to be something that you're thinking about or that it may actually be causing a bit of anxiety for you. Like maybe there's like a bit of concern about how this sort of bringing together is going to work, whether it will be harmonious or not. Because I feel like there may be a bit of concern about like, and if it's not that for you, right? Because that's a specific example. It doesn't have to be that for you. It could be some, like, I'm also getting this example of like something that's work related, for example, and something that's non-work related, and trying to like bring them together. Like it could be something where it's like, you know, somebody at work, right? Like perhaps you have a friend at work, but you want to like get to know this friend outside of work, right? So it's kind of like this energy of like two aspects of your life that are separated by some sort of boundary. And it could be like your own identity or your role or whatever it is. Like sister, friend, right? That kind of thing. Work, home. Like two different aspects of your life you're trying to bring together. And there's anxiety about that is actually how it's coming through. And it's feeling like whether or not the new energy, whatever that is for you, will integrate into the established, how harmonious that will be. And it feels like something that you're thinking about in, like, it's like maybe something in Christmas time is going to be significant, or yeah, it's kind of feeling like that. This also kind of feels like Pisces. This is one of these readings where it feels like it could be, you can play many different roles in this reading, because especially in that example where it's like you are at the center, of course, but at a different point in your life, maybe in the future, you rewatch this reading and you're now one of like, you're like the friend or something like that. And like you're being introduced to like a group or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to read it like that, how it's coming through. Okay, we're going to start with animals. Interesting. Hawk and stingray. That's a really powerful energy. Okay, and dragon at the bottom of the deck. So hawk talks about a divine messenger kind of energy. Maybe you're waiting for some sort of message, or I feel like there is something coming in for you. It does feel it feels like a message from spirit or something like that, like guidance, confirmation that you're on the right path, that kind of energy in whatever it is that you're going through. Because I feel like you're actually the stingray today, Pisces, this watery element, which like this stingray always talks to me about like being very open and vulnerable. It's like accepting some sort of change. I feel like there is some sort of change that you're like choosing to make is actually how it's coming through. And that change might actually be making you feel kind of vulnerable. But at the same time, also very like electrified is the energy that I get with the stingray. And it is an alignment, right? Whatever this change is that you're making or that you're going through is in alignment for you. So I feel like there's something about like, especially with that example of like, a very simple example would be like introducing like a new boyfriend or girlfriend to your family, right? It's kind of like that kind of change where it's like there's a bit of like a vulnerability there. But that it is also sort of coming through as like a sign of like strengthening a commitment is kind of how it's feeling to me. So whatever it is for you, I'm getting like throat chakra energy. I feel like it's something that maybe is like you need to communicate. especially with the hawk, there's something about like communication that's coming through. It's like, because it's like, whatever this event is, like you would be communicating to your family that this is a serious commitment. For example, like something like that. It would be like a sign or a gesture or whatever that this is a serious commitment. That's how it's coming through. So I feel like there's this energy of like taking the next step in something. It doesn't have to be that example exactly. It's just like feeling like you're communicating to a group that you're taking the next step with something, whatever that is for you. It actually kind of feels like work or practical. Like it's feeling very like there's some sort of physical consequence of this. It's very interesting. I'm going to read the hawk. Yeah, my throat is like feeling kind of itchy. There's okay. Watchful, all-seeing, messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the big picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. When in balance, it sees clearly and intuitive. When out of balance, sees too much and suspicious. To bring into balance a perspective shift. Okay, because there is something about a course that you're on, like your path. I feel like you are accepting a significant choice, maybe with the stingray, about like something that will eventually shift your course, is how it's coming through, and it's in alignment. I really want to stress that this choice or decision is in alignment for you, Pisces. You may not be seeing the bigger picture yet. You may be sort of very like focused or present on like are you though? There may be anxiety about that because you may be trying to look far ahead. That might be causing anxiety. That's how it's coming through. Maybe you are seeing far ahead. Maybe you are seeing the bigger picture. I feel like this hawk energy is not necessarily you. It could be something of like your higher self or your guides, or there could be sort of like a messenger energy coming through that's like trying to reassure you, Pisces, that you are on the right path. I feel like your path may actually be shifting a little bit. But it's in alignment. It's confirmation that this is in alignment for you because the hawk can see far ahead for you. The hawk right now is seeing far ahead. I feel like there's also something of like you're getting an insight about something that I feel like something that was like causing conflict. You're seeing like the higher perspective of it now is actually how it's feeling. It's that Sagittarius energy. Whatever is crossing your path like this, like it's perpendicular to you. You're seeing how perhaps it was causing conflict in the past for you, but you're seeing it from a higher perspective now. So I feel like you're getting clarity about a conflict like that. The sword. Yeah. Interesting. And then you have the king, agape, and the animal that also flipped out. I'm not going to take these. Well, okay, yeah, I'll leave them out on the table, but we'll see how that plays out. The sword, though. It is kind of coming through with the truth. Because I'm I'm always so interested by how this card is like split in half, right? I really want to put it like this. There's something about like two different aspects in your life that are currently separated by something. Two different aspects in your life that you're keeping separate for whatever reason. But maybe you're considering like that's part of like the change that you're making, because it's almost looking like this. I'm seeing this sword as being like the energy of the stingray's spine, right? Like because now it's coming through with like a decisive action, something that you're taking, like making a choice in. You're making a decisive choice in something that is in alignment, and I feel like it is bringing something together, or it's like strengthening a commitment to something, or it's I feel it actually may be activating this king energy within you, because it's kind of like the king and the sword, right? It's kind of coming through as being like Excalibur, King Arthur. You're removing the sword from the stone is how it's coming through. That's the thing. It's a very decisive action that is in alignment with your path. I feel like this hasn't happened yet, though, Pisces. Because it does feel like it's you're in the consideration process. You're still trying to figure out sort of like the logistics, or like whatever it is. You're still sort of in the planning stages is kind of how it's feeling. Perhaps because there's like something like in your path at the moment that you can't move past until that thing is gone. Like it's that kind of energy. You have to sort of deal with what's immediately in front of you. But it's like, excuse me, my throat keeps like, I don't know. Anyways, agape, the unconditional love card, right? With the stingray. That's such a powerful combination today. Like, it feels kind of like being activated by love. And there's a bit of duty here as well, like responsibility or something like that, because it's feeling kind of like with the example of King Arthur and Excalibur, the part of his destiny. I know that that's such a big word. It doesn't have to be that intense, like, but it's really coming through as being like, whatever this choice is part of your path. It's in alignment with who you are and who you're meant to be. Right now, it's kind of like you're looking at the sword. It's still in the stone. You haven't quite taken it out of the stone yet, but you are considering it. That's how it feels. I'm going to read this card. The sword. So it says, the knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. That's what I'm saying. It separates one reality from another. It's really interesting. So it's almost like because King Arthur, I feel like before he took out Excalibur, he wasn't a king yet. That's how it's coming through. He wasn't a king yet, but in removing the sword and claiming the sword, he became a king, right? So it separates two realities. That's where I'm seeing you right now. Pisces. I almost said Scorpio. Okay. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourself. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm saying, Pisces. I feel like whatever this decision is that you're making at the moment, like, because it kind of feels like you've made the decision, or like in your mind, perhaps you've made a decision to commit to something, or to like claim some sort of responsibility, or claim your path in some way, or claim some sort of commitment, and it's revealing your true self. That's how it's coming through. It's really powerful, Pisces. Lover at the bottom of the deck. So it could be in a relationship. It could be something like that. Like, whatever kind of relationship it is for you, there's love, right? It's about unconditional love in this case. It's like my tongue is getting all like ahead of itself. I feel like there's something about like love is making you stand up straighter. That's how it's coming through. Love is like strengthening your spine, your backbone. It's like improving your posture, metaphorically, right? Like it's, or perhaps literally, I don't know. But it's making you stand straighter. It's like in the fairy deck, there's a card called He of the Fiery Sword. That's what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. It's like having to make decisions that are true to you, or like doing the right thing, that kind of energy. Making decisions from love. That's how it feels. Okay. Okay, you have a lot of cards here. The Drowned King, which is interesting. Autumn, Jupiter, and the New Pearl. Okay, Pisces. Interesting. I was not... Okay, this card is the most interesting out of all of these. Because, okay, so maybe in the past, this Drowned King talks about sort of an ego death. But you do have the King here, which is interesting. And they're opposite colors today. I feel like maybe you're going through an ego death. In a very conscious way, where there may be something about, could be past for you, where like something in your, because the stingray is one where it can be challenging because there's like a radical change that's coming through. There may be something in your life that's ending with the Drowned King, or that's going through, it's coming through as ego death. I don't know what that is. An aspect of your identity, right? Because it's kind of coming through as like King Arthur becoming the king was an ego death of his like past self of like being sort of like a pauper, right? Like it's kind of coming through like that, like somebody who didn't have a lot. That might be actually part of your ego death, where it's like an old narrative or an aspect of your identity of not having enough. It's like, no, you're a king, Pisces. That's how it's coming through. So there may be sort of an ego death associated with that, but, and it's like, it's complicated. That's how it feels, because there may be something about like your past energy, which, is something like, like it's kind of coming through as like the village or family, very established relationships as well. Because there may be something about, like, there may be, with that, I'm just going to go back to that example of, like, introducing, like, a new partner to your family, where, like, a role that you play in your family, maybe, is not truly who you are. That might be something, there may be something like that happening for you, where it's like, if I'm being more general, something that's very established in your life, right? A role that you play that's very established in your life may not be entirely who you are, is just how it's coming through. It may not be the full picture of who you are. And so there's like a bit of an ego death coming through, because with the new pearl and the Jupiter, it's like whatever this new thing is showing you that you are more, right? That there's expansion coming through here. Both of these cards are talking about expansion. The new pearl as well, because I feel like there's something about, like, maybe you encountered a loss in the past of something. A loss in the past that was an ego death energy, but at the bottom of the ocean, you found this pearl. That's how it's coming through. This loss revealed something about a new aspect of your identity that is all of this energy. It's really beautiful. That you are a king in like another realm, a different reality. So I feel like you're at this point right now, Pisces, where it's like you're sort of walking the line between two realities, is how it's feeling. You haven't quite removed the sword, because I feel like whatever that sword is, like a decision, right? There's still a separation or a boundary between you and, or like between two aspects of your reality. It hasn't quite come together yet. But when you do so, it will be like claiming your true path. That's how it's coming through. Like becoming King Arthur in whatever way that is for you. Rotation at the bottom of the deck. I could end this reading here. Honestly, I feel kind of like I want to, but I'm gonna pull some of the Alchemy elemental cards. But you could stop the reading here if you wanted, and that would be a complete message. You're at this place right now because the autumn represents sort of harvesting, like harvesting the wisdom, also sharing what it is that you've gained. It is kind of feeling like an ending or a letting go kind of energy, because you're about to expand into something new. I feel like this reading is really just coming through as being like confirmation that whatever choice it is that you're making at the moment, it's the right choice. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you have wisdom and the land, mountain, moon. This is the divine feminine energy in this deck, which talks about sort of like embracing your feminine energy, nurturing, resting, receiving, allowing. I feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom in that, like whatever this, because it does feel kind of like you're closing out a significant chapter where you have gained a lot of wisdom. And there could have been something about an ego death that was important in this. I feel like right now the universe is saying like to you, just like be patient, be in your feminine energy, because I do feel like right now the timing is not quite there yet, right? It's not Christmas yet. Like it's that kind of energy. You have to wait till Christmas, perhaps like to open your presents or something like that. There's kind of this energy of like, it's not time yet, but you're preparing for it. That's how it feels. There may be anxiety about that, right? So just be conscious of that. You're preparing for something. It isn't time yet. But when it is time, you will be ready for it. That's how it's feeling. There is this sort of like energy, especially with the stingray, of like surrendering. Okay, definitely reading this card. Surrendering to the process. And trusting like the path will lead you to the right destination, so to speak. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this one is Sky, Lightning, Sun. When something makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong or bad or offensive about that thing. All it means is that you need to expand your comfort zone. This is how we self-actualize. We keep choosing to expand our comfort zones to be able to hold more and more diversity, true diversity. Diversity of people, ideas, perspective, and expansion. Perspective and expression. Your willingness to be open to different worldviews and to experience things that you never in a million years thought you would experience allows your incarnation to be artful and creative and unique. When we are open and we are able to hold other beings and circumstances and experiences in unconditional acceptance, we inspire that same creativity, that same courage, and that same openness in others by being a living example of artful and authentic lives. Yeah. Pisces, you're going through some sort of expansion right now that feels kind of uncomfortable, right? And it feels like, because with the sword, two different and separate realities with all this lightning, that's so interesting, coming into one, right? It's like multiple aspects of your life are sort of converging into something like more like in alignment. I don't know how else to describe it, as being like it's like a braid, right? Like you're braiding different aspects of your life together. And that might feel uncomfortable. It's not a bad thing. In fact, for you, it feels very positive. It feels like a very positive... it doesn't feel like a conclusion, but it feels like a culmination. Like it's like gathering everything that you've learned into a unified whole. Yeah, okay. Fire, volcano, earth. And land, animal, sun. Okay, yeah, okay. Pisces. Right now you're in a rest period is how it's feeling. You have power at the bottom of the deck. Because I feel like there's something about like... There's a lot of energies here that are outside of your control. It's not time yet. That's how it's coming through. You're in sort of like a gestation, rest, waiting period. It's not time yet for whatever this action is. I feel like you have made the decision though, or like that's part of like what's going to be unfolding is like perhaps like gaining courage or preparing yourself to make the decision and accept the responsibility that comes from that decision, right? Because it's like once you claim Excalibur, so to speak, you are the king now, right? That's how it's feeling. So it's like you have to be prepared for the responsibilities of being a king, metaphorically. Like it's kind of coming through like that. Whatever this decision is, comes with a lot of responsibility or increased commitment or there's like a very heavy sort of weight that comes with wearing the crown, of holding the sword, that kind of thing. So you're being prepared for it. That's how it feels. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read this one because I feel like this is what is coming through very strongly for you with this king energy. A true leader recognizes the needs of the people and then inspires and encourages them to bring their passions and their genius forth. You are being called to leadership. It is time to take your rightful place at the table and to inspire others to do the same. You must share your love and guide the people to take action that is aligned with spirit. Know that everything you've gone through, the hardships, the challenges, and even the blessings, have been designed to support you in the journey ahead. The journey of being a leader of legacy. Trust the path. Trust your steps. Trust in spirit. Yeah, all of this is part of the journey. Right now, it feels kind of like you're in this period of like accepting radical change. That's how it feels. At the center of this, though, is I feel like you're receiving sort of like rest and nourishment in preparation for something ahead. This card talks about like communing with the animals. So I do feel like, right, because you also had the animal that came out in the archetype card that I didn't talk about, but it kind of feels like there's something about maybe connecting more to your animal nature. So it could be something about like your body, like physical nourishment and rest that may be important for you, especially if you're feeling any sort of anxiety in the mind. It's like try and ground that through your physical body in some way, like physical nourishment, physical rest and rejuvenation is how it's coming through. This card, the 78, this card also comes through with like this feeling of with playfulness, joy, and freedom. So I'm just going to read a section of this. When was the last time you ran alongside a horse, feeling the joy and freedom it feels sprinting across the land? When was the last time you rolled around with a dog, not just looming over it while patting it on its head, but humbled yourself by bringing yourself to its level and playing with it the way that dogs actually like to play? When was the last time you sang along with the birds and harmonized with their melodies? The wisdom of the animals are profound and their messages run deep. Avail yourself to the medicine they carry through communion. Allow the animals to teach you through their ways and through their language. They are our guides here. Walk well with them. Yeah, right now feels kind of like Pisces, what you're being asked to focus on in the meantime, right? Because there is this period of waiting for you. It's not Christmas time yet, whatever that means. You're being asked to focus on like the animal energy within yourself, perhaps. Like it feels very nurturing and resting, like because it kind of feels like with autumn especially there's this energy of like preparing for winter, right? Like harvesting, like gathering all of the seeds, gathering all the crops that you've gained. Like it does kind of feel like that, like a preparation energy, preparing for winter, whatever that is, preparing for a new beginning. There's something about like seasonal patterns that may be significant for you as well. Because where I am, Northern Hemisphere, like we're entering winter, right? It's coming through like that. Preparing for winter, whatever that means. Doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It just feels like there's this energy of preparing yourself for something, Pisces. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.